How's it going, ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another video here at ScrubGames, and today we're continuing with the discussion videos, going over the set 17 decks in color order. And yesterday we did red, and now today we're going over the blue ones. But yeah, most people that watch the channel know me. They know that I dislike blue more than players that play how players play blue, like most blue players, more than the decks itself. But this is there's a lot more to talk about cards like decks outside, because with the latest hits, Soul Striker reboot was hit. It got an errata in which its old awakening, being either a 4 life or less, or having a free specified cost unison on board, allowed you to awaken early, is now just awaken at 4 life. So it's got the same awakening as the original leader, and no longer awakens when you drop turn 3 your free specified cost unison. And most people, like a lot of people I saw online, were hating, not really hating, but not liking the fact that the reboot Soul Striker existed, because it was like a Mecha Freezer situation where it was the best, most generic blue leader in the game, and like most of the time it was why play another blue leader when you can do the same thing with this one, or more or better things with this one. And unless your deck was like things like Blowjack or S4G, which ramp and stuff, unless they had a specific mechanic that worked best with them, like Blue Blowjack has Galactic Buster and a way to play things from energy and his own little archetype, and SS4 ramp had like the whole it can ramp itself to get higher energy quicker. Unless you had mechanics like that, you were playing Soul Striker over. Well, most people wanted to play Soul Striker over any other blue deck, but now it's been here. It opens up more for other generic blue leaders to be used and be thought about. Like, we still have some good ones like the SS3 reboot, and we've got the new ones from this set as well, and there's some other blue leaders that you can now probably see play with that errata. So what I'm going to do is go look into this, have a look at these set 17 decks, and see also about the blue decks we're getting in the upcoming meta as well, when the ban list comes to effect properly. But before we do get into that, feel free to like the video if you enjoy it. Comment down below anything you want to comment, and also subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because it keeps you updated with my videos as when they drop, and especially if you get the notification bell, you get alerts as well when my videos drops. And also if you do want to keep up to date when I do drop videos, I do a content schedule on my Discord, link to the Discord below, and also my Facebook, which also has a link below, where I post say when I'm streaming, when I'm dropping videos on my YouTube as well. And also by subscribing, you help me get to 1,000 subs as my goal, which I'm currently a third of the way to. And every 100 subs, so next one being 400, I do a giveaway. And at 1,000 subs, I will be doing I'll be doing a specific thing, but I'm going to wait until I get closer to that goal before dropping details about it. So let's get to the video. Talk about blue. Oh, blue. So just like with red. And as I said, mostly every set, mostly every set, since apart from in the beginning, we get at least two leaders in each color. Black varies; sometimes it has 2, sometimes 1, sometimes it has none. And in this set, we do get 2 blue leaders, and the archetype is focusing more on the Red Ribbon saga. One side being the Path to Power instead of the original Dragon Ball, which is where I think most people wanted the Red Ribbon stuff from. And then for the upcoming superhero movie. So we're getting the Red Ribbon Robot, which flips over from Commander Red on the front side, and the new characters we're getting in the movie being Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, who are androids, which is a nice little peek into the movie because that's coming out soon. So these look quite interesting, but then again, just the same as with the previous color in red, one of them's a casual color. Well, one of them seems to be a casual deck, and the other one seems to be a more interesting, potentially competitive deck. And you can take a guess now if you want to figure out which one it is. But if you want a spoiler, it's like the Red Ribbon Robot deck seems to be the more casual and doesn't seem that great. While the Gamma deck seems very interesting, something not too different what we probably got, but more interesting and more enticing with the cards around it and the archetype itself and the leader itself as well. To get you on to play it. So just like before, we'll go for the more casual one, being the Red Ribbon Robot. So I remember when I looked at this in the trailer, I saw that it had no awaken sign because I saw that this was awaken side, because you see that the lightning at top and bottom, that's only on the on the back side of any leader, because that's when they flip over and they're like fully charged and ready to go. And I saw it had an awaken and thought, oh, that's quite interesting. We might get something like Launch or the Flip Gohan for a blue. That'd be quite interesting, quite nice to get, really, because they're quite interesting leaders and pretty good for deck building. At least the Launch, anyway. I haven't played much. I haven't played the Flip Gohan at all, so I'm not sure. But I know that relies on more fields. But then, so did the Launch required on like a small package to do the flip and back and forth. But it's a weird one because it doesn't have an awaken. I also once again forgot the front sides of them because I want to just make space to make it look a bit nicer for the slides, and it doesn't have an awaken, so it's not like Gohan and Launch, and where they can flip back and forth between the sides. It's like a normal awaken, but it doesn't have. It's like a normal leader where it flips over and it stays on the backside after it's flipped over. But it doesn't have an awaken, and it's got a weird condition to do, which is if a if a commander red is sent from your your battle area to your drop, then by a skill, then you get to flip over, but you don't have any any benefit from that. You just flip over. It's like Yellow Bojack, but at least Yellow Bojack had an interesting archetype because it had a pretty cool boss monster, and it's only got support after it was released to kind of help that, because it did have that pointless do nothing on awaken, and it's got the same thing, but and it's all about sacking your stuff off, like killing your stuff to do things, which doesn't seem the most beneficial. So this is going to be a quick review of this side. So the main cards in it is like you got two commander reds, and neither of them are searchable off or playable off the extra card that comes in the set. That plays your 2 cost or less 10k Red Ribbon Army. Both the commander reds are 15, so you can't give out for that, cheat out for that. You have to actually pay the 2 energy for it. And as long as you've got to sack them off, and this one's a pretty good one that you want to keep on the board to be able to constantly use an activate main. And then it doesn't really have much of a boss monster for its side. It can use stuff from the Gamma side, but then its main boss is Red Ribbon Robot, which seems interesting, but it's very costly to bring out and doesn't seem to go great with the deck. Like, it's a cool card, but it seems quite difficult and easily stopped or removed because it's got no protection or to try and play it or to keep it on board. And most decks nowadays, unless you've got a very cheap but protected big boss, it doesn't do great. So this seems quite very lucky. So I don't really have much to say about it. It's just like, I'm not much of a casual player. I like to play. I'm quite competitive, but this doesn't seem interesting unless you like flavor. I suppose it's pretty cool, but outside of that, it doesn't seem that great to me, even for a casual side. But if we go into the Gamma ones, with Gamma 1 and 2, this is quite an interesting one. It's got a permanent on both sides, basically stopping you from ramping with non-Ribbon Army battle cards. So no using the Android 16 to ramp up, none of that. And it's got an it's got an alternative awakening, where if you have a 2 specified cost blue unison in play, you can flip over by drawing 1, untapping 1, and taking your life down to 6. And there's some pretty good unisons for that to go into it. And then it's got a really nice, it's almost like it's built in with, is built like 3 different old decks. Like we had some old decks, like it's like Blue Bojack in the fact that it can play stuff from energy. Like it's like Blue Bojack and Android 16, where it can play stuff from his energy and then replace the energy, but it's not once per turn like the other ones are. The other ones are like once per turn you can do that to do stuff from energy and then also replace it. And then it's a bit like SS3 GOKU, where you're going to get free energy back at the end of the turn after you awaken each time. Like you might have a restriction, because it restricts you down to only be able to use Android battle card skills 7 cost or less. But it's got some good stuff. So like with some of the good stuff, I'd say is it's got its own check land. So like we saw with in the last set, with Zamasu is his own checkline, which is like a card that you can actually use as well, not just a checkline to put in energy, but it can actually be useful. And this one is the Android 1718 limitless energy. Literally, like, for turn 1 you can just charge it turn 1, and then you've got multicolor energy. And that means if you need green energy for whatever, when you're adding back from the effects, it's just a free blue Android you need to add back from your energy hand to then draw a card and put free energies back in your energy. It allows you to put back checklands to have green energy open anytime you want, which is really, really nice. And you can even play it for your energy and use it as a cheap decent swinger. And then a good unison for it as well, because where it requires, there's quite a good few 2 specified cost blue unisons in the game. And one of the best ones, I reckon, is the hit battlefield manipulator, just because, like how with what's it called, the Piccolo Jr., and that is going to rat on the next list. It's got the same kind of +1 where you activate main, draw 1 to gain a marker, which is great, adding more draw to the lead. And because it's not a battle card, it's not affected by the lead's auto, and it also has a way to gain marker skills by using a rival. That's where this Android 13 we've got here comes in. It's one of those. It's one of few like Android arrivals we have, where you can arrival in, and it's going to add a marker to the unison by doing a rival. And the Android 13 is just basically a 30k beat stick, which is quite nice. And because your leader is a Blue Ribbon Army card, it's also a free 5k combo. It's not that as it printed there. It gets reduced because it's permanent, because your leader is a Red Ribbon Army. But then you've also got a way to go up through its normal the Union Orbs way if you want. But it's just nice rival, and adding markers to unison is a good way. And it's also got a good -1 as well, if your opponent's got a leader, like a front side that is, say, not great, then you can flip over to the front side and then put in loads of pressure on them, which is quite cool. And especially isn't just a nice extra where if you go against Hatch, which is one of the surviving black decks that wasn't really affected by the hit of the Gogeta Xeno package and Overwhelm stuff, is if you drop the hit unison against that and use the -1, you basically set it back 3 turns, because it doesn't have a clear awakening like most things. It's got to have 3 cards under its leader to then ditch to flip over, and that takes 3 turns because it's once a turn you can do that. So it's a very good guard against Hatch, just in case it comes meta, and a great way to just main in this as well for +1. So I think that is a good unison to have with it. It's not searchable like with some of the archetype stuff in here, but I feel it's still a very strong unison, and be able to gain extra markers from rivaling in things if you want to go for rival, then that's a good benefit, I reckon, a good bonus. Speaking of rival, because it's blue androids, you do have access to some of the Android 16 stuff as well, because they are all rival cards, well, mostly rival cards that have some nice beneficial effects, and because they're blue androids, they're not restricted by the leader's effect. And as I said, since you've got that checkline, which is also green, you can easily get that back to free energy to rival these. While they don't be from your energy, they can still come from your hand, and since you can draw quite a bit with the lead with using unison, end of turn drawing, and just awakening quite early, it seems like, and they're quite good as well, like the 6-drop being a dual attacking revenge blocker, it also makes your opponent discard 1, and under 16 steadfast ally being able to drop a way to finish your opponent off a little bit, so if they get down to 1 energy and it's over, is quite an interesting way to do it. And it won't gain as much advantage from Android 16 to get that, but it's still an option you have. And also, being with a rival strategy, it also adds markers to your hit battlefield unison, and they're quite cheap as well. Like, you got limited disengage, which is also a nice way to help deal with unisons with its marker removal, while also blocking as well. And having revenge blocker on at the Android 16 steadfast comeback is quite nice as well. And then we have Gamma 1 and 2 game, like boss monster that came out in the same set, being the Cell the Ultimate Bio Android. Now this seems to me more like a green boss monster, and I'll go over that in the green video, which will be tomorrow, because, well, it'd be better to explain there. But this is a very good one to go in this as well, because I don't think I've covered this as well. With the when you awaken, it's got the first auto on the lead. It's not once per turn as well. Is when a blue card is played from your energy, you place the top card of your deck in your energy, top card of your deck in your energy in rest mode. So like anytime you play cards from energy, which I said it could do, you're just replacing them. And this is a nice turn 4 boss because you activate main allows you to play it for 4 energy by paying 1 green, 1 blue, and 2 of any other colour. Only once per turn, because it's got limit 1. Play it for the energy, and then you replace it with your lead. So you're not losing anything energy playing something without using your hand. You just charge it, play it, done on turn 4. And it's a very good boss card because it's almost like a blue version. Well, it's like a version of the U7 GOKU from the U7 GOKU deck, the 8-drop, because it's got deflect, so it can't be stopped. It comes in with dual attack and double strike as long as you play it from your energy. Well, play it with activate main. And if you're playing it from your energy, which you're mainly going to do on turn 4, it has an auto to wipe your opponent's board, not ignoring barrier, just like the GOKU did, with the GOKU minuses everything by 35, not ignoring barrier. This one is when you play from your energy, you choose all your opponent's battle cards, place them at the bottom of his deck, so you board wipe just at GOKU, and then also when it attacks, well, the GOKU is just when it attacks, it rips something from your opponent's hand, but this has got once per turn when it attacks. If it's in a battle, if your opponent activates a counter attack skill when it's got it attack, well, it's in battle, then your opponent places 1 card at the bottom of his deck. So if they do try to stop the attacks, it's going to be a 30k dual attacking double striker. If they do want to stop the attack with a negate, they're then losing a card from the hand. And if they're not doing it, you're going in quite hard with a 30k double striker in 2 swings as well. So that's a nice, good end win con. And I think this card is going to be, this deck's to be really nice as well. It's yet to be seen though, because the restriction might be not too bad in it, but then it's how people build it. I think it's quite be interesting. It's got a nice little arch-like stuff put together, and it's got loads of good generic, good blue stuff. And there are some good blue Android things that we have from previous sets, as seen with the Android 16. So out of those two, I feel like the Red Ribbon Army is going to be a casual deck, but not great. And then the Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 is going to probably maybe be a competitive deck now that blue is open a bit more with the Soul Striker reboot errata. But then there's not only that, but there's not only these 2 decks that get that are out, but also we get, because of the errata, we get some other blue decks that can shine more. Like, well, really since the last set, like, it's been other blue decks other than Soul Striker doing well that I've seen, especially in Europe. Like, we haven't seen Soul Striker do, I haven't seen really Soul Striker do much anywhere. It's been more other decks, like even the Crimson Warrior one does better. And here's these are some other blue decks that I feel now the errata to the reboot Soul Striker is out, these decks might do some well. We probably have seen, well, you most likely have seen some of these already doing well in the format at the moment. So I want to start off with one of my favourites being Blue Bojack. This is one that I've liked since release. It's just unfortunate that it came out with King Cold, and I preferred King Cold over this one, but I did build this to enjoy it. And it has some very strong players. Like, people realise Galactic Buster was amazing and busted for a reason. So much that it had to be errated, so it only works with a Bojack lead. And if people really liked it, they would have gone with it with Galactic Buster to Bojack, because it's still fantastic in there. And the deck has like so much potential and so much utility, and it also was piloted by Big O. Shouts to him, and doing real, he's showing that it is a still strong blue deck, and it's been performing really well over the past few months, showing off the potential of it. Because that's the thing, it's got the same kind of awakening as the Yellow Sin Shenron lead, which once you get a 4 specified cost unison of the same color, in this case blue, then you get to awaken, and on the awaken turn you get to get 2 combos from energy, which is really nice. And just once you can, it means you can awaken at high life total. And since you're defending easily by using a free combo for energy, even mainly using Zangia, which is your light control, because you got super combo. Because you awaken at high life, you don't really use super combo like the normal set 11 type ones, because you don't go down to 4 life, and you don't really want sparking because they go in your energy. So you use certain units and certain super combos to help manage your energy. And Zangia's then becomes your draw power, because you just combat from energy or your battle area, which mainly from both your energy, you draw 1. And Galactic Busters is the way to combo from your energy with either a 1 cost 10k or 1 cost 5k, because some of the Bojack cards are 1 cost 5ks, just to get a free combo or get US off energy opening. And if you sequence it correctly, you can use the energy without losing it, which is really nice. And not only that, but you do have some very strong Bojack cards and very good combo the play cards. Like due to the permanent on the card being that if you reduce the combo cost of mono blue Bojack Brigade cards in your hand by 1, meaning that the 8-drop Bojack is basically a 0 cost 10k combo, and it even comes like a pseudo super combo plus big boss once you jump on your opponent's turn or your turn because of its skills to play itself. And or you can even EX evolve it onto the 4-drop as well, and the 4-drop becomes essentially a removal for like anything not on your own barrier, because you just combo the play by just combo it for free by either combo it from your hand normally or by effects of Galactic Buster or Lead, and you just pay 2 energy to play itself, and it bottom decks one of your opponent's battle cards, just not your own barrier, and it becomes a 20k dual attacker to put some pressure on as well. So it plays a bit like how the old 8 deck played, which is quite cool. And they also got a TP and Bojack to help deal with things that come out bigger in energy, like this, like against Sin and stuff like that, by playing itself, stopping your opponent from attacking your leader with anything higher than or current or higher than or more than their current energy. And if it does get killed by battle or just gets KO'd, you draw a card and it just redirects away, which is quite nice. And not only that as well, it's got great energy. They can maximize its energy greatly by getting the unison down the blue unison by turn 4 to then every turn allow you to get an extra draw because it doesn't draw itself, and a untap. And then you've got Zeno as well to be out comboing swings and also getting stuff by your energy, so you can charge things in your energy to keep it safe and then let Zeno grab it back. Or if you do use the leader's effect to combo something for energy and you get something placed in your energy like a bean or something that you want back to hand, Zeno grabs it back for you, so nothing is lost unless it's in your life or warped or anything, or in any other way. If it goes, like, it's not like most things you can get back or keep safe in your energy thanks to Zeno. And it even has Zeno, like just being a blue deck, has access to Senzu Bean to help deal with like aggression and also to manage your energy to make more plays playing stuff in your opponent's turn. A fantastic deck, and if you do want to, if you are interested in Blue Bojack and want to learn to play it and get used to it and just enjoy it, because I feel it's going to be a very good deck coming into the next format, then go ahead and check out Big O Notation's video, because he's got a series, he's doing a whole series on Bojack, basically how to play, how to decide, how to learn the matchups and stuff. And I think he's going to keep that for every format because he just loves the deck and it's his main one. So go and check him out. And then we have Android 16. So this is one that it's been doing well as well, doing really well, and even like I think won one of the regionals recently in America, and also came second at their nationals. And yeah, it's just a really good one. It's just a generic, good, strong blue leader with a nice bit of ramp, and just like with Bojack, having energy as an extra hand, an extension of your hand essentially, because you can play stuff from your energy and have a lot of utility, and also adds in a little bit of hand destruction to go with the blue. So like just like with Bojack, you're going to be wanting to drop the Boo Unison because it allows you to like give yourself extra draw, because once again this leader when it awakens it has no draw after that, but it does have a free way to combo, and as well as that it gives you extra energy to help maintain your plays, but also give you a blocker plus removal that you easily want. And it's one of the few ramp decks as well, because ramp did get nerfed a little bit when Bandai started hitting things that allowed you to ramp and then hurt ramp, which is odd. And that is in the form of the 2-drop Android 16 back all the way from set 8. And that allows you to turn, like normally people play it on turn 2, so that by turn 3 you have 4 energy to play your Boo Unison and be a turn ahead with your Unison set up earlier. And it's one of the great plays, and even there's most decks now, well that I know of, will try to put something in the side deck to help deal with it, because it's going to be a more common thing, Android 16. And it's got a way to search for that Android 16 turn 1 if you need it, being the Sword Defender, and even being some removal, but 4 cost or less as well, while also being a 5 cost for Zamasu. Not only that, but it does have Ever Android 16, just like we saw Gamma, which give utility like Android 16 being a nice little extra blocker that can also help take markers off your opponent's Unison, Steadfast Comeback and Steadfast Ally both giving you a bit of hand destruction, while also 16 being a barrier blocker revenge blocker, or a 20k dual attacker in your turn to help put some pressure on or help defending its battle cards a little bit easier, and Steadfast Ally being like your kind of helpful finisher in dropping a 7-drop 20k double striker, that's the word. That also drops to Android 21 to help you shut your opponent, like take one of your opponent's life and and battle cards instead of the drop. So you don't really need, this is one of the is one of the decks where you don't need to really kill your opponent, just need to get them down to 1, and then you've got an alternative way to finish them using Natural 21 to burn that last life. And speaking of that, this is the combo, being Android 16 Steadfast Ally, that places off of 4 energy being 2 blue and 2 green, and then it allows you to search for the Bad Omen from your deck, and then play the Bad Omen from your hand, and then the Bad Omen allowing you to choose 1 card in the energy, place it in the drop area, then choose a card in your opponent's life and on their board, or in the battle area, and set it to the drop. So it's a nice way. To have it to not worry about getting your opponent down to 2 and then finishing off with a double striker to make as much use of resources as you can. You just have to get them down to 1, and then Android 21 Bad Omen is the way to finish. And even by charging as well with turn 1, you normally have it there then to having your energy ready to kill them at a moment's notice once you get them down to 1, which is quite cool. And I feel this is going to be another blue deck. And also check out Iratorum from DBSCG Planet. He plays this deck a lot and is well versed in it, and just is a massive fanboy of it. And even there's Jared Lopez, who's probably the best Android 16 player at the moment, playing in America. And another one that I've seen really popular on Untap, but for some reason, when I test on Untap doing my testing streams, I seem to always come against this deck no matter what I play, and that's SS4 Vegeta. It's one of the once again another ramp deck, and one that's more got inherent ramp built into its leader. Because all it has to do is, if it does damage to your opponent by its leader swing, you flip the top card of your deck. If it's a mono blue card, you put your energy in rest. If it's not, you put it at the bottom of your deck. Yeah, you place it back on top of your deck. So you put in a lot of extra cards and stuff, and ways to power up the leader swing, so you can get that ramp. And once again, there's another way to be able to get to your turn 4 quicker, or your 4 energy quicker, so you can play the blue unison as another way to put pressure on, get your extra draw, and just outvantage your opponent while ramping up to play bigger threats. And main the things that you play in this, blue unison, as I said, because you can ramp up easy to get to it. SS Vegeta, the Inceptor, being a good way to get extra swings in, because it's a 20k dual attacker, but also helping clear your opponent's board by bottom deck 2 of their battle cards. And then the end gamer being getting to turn 7, so you can drop Android 17 Turn the Tide, so you can put the opponent's entire hand plus all battle cards in the drop area to the bottom of their deck, as well as your hand, so you can basically just make it so it's harder for your opponent to outcombo your attacks. So what you have to do is get them low, so if you get into free energy, or free life, sorry, you can just drop Turn the Tide, swing with that for 30k crit while they've got no hand, and then finish off the blue unison, or if you get a 2, crit, and then lead. And not only that, you also have some nice really strong blue cards as well. Blue's got some very good defensive cards that just help out, and you've got once again the Zeno Edge of Space, because you're being ramping just like with Android 16 ramping blindly, you put the top card of your deck. Zeno allows you to beat cantrip to help push pressure as well, by just go and play it for 1 energy, then swing, combos it to free 10k, or use it defensively once you get 5 energy, 5 life dollars, to basically grab back some energy you've placed in from your leader to get it back. Or if you charge something accidentally, like say your secret rare baby hatch, then you can grab that back to have, so it's not, once again, cards aren't lost in the energy. So especially if you accidentally charge a super combo from the leader's effect, you can then super combo this to get the super combo from your energy back, and then have that to keep going, while also giving you energy for defense as well. Because I find that a lot of the time with this deck, it got a lot of extra cards to help defend or help push through damage, and sometimes it can clobber your hand. And it also has it allows you to have more energy quicker, so you can drop the Miraculous Transformation SSG GOKU, and also have Realm of the Gods as a great blue tech, for any blue deck now. That gives you defensive by being a 10k, 1 cost 10k combo power, while also drawing your card and then allowing you to bottom deck things, helping remove big threats or little threats. And we have other ones that aren't just the 3 that I've shown, because I know the other one I only found 3 because I could only think of 3. But blue has a few more good, interesting blue leaders that can come in, and one of them is the reboot of SS3. Now this is one that you do get a low hand, but once you get going, get your energy up, you just get 6 energy. You have every turn you have 9 energy because you have 6 to use, and then 3 ready for your opponent's turn. And that gives access to be able to ramp up as well, because it's just ramp. You have to do is attack to ramp up, so you're losing your hand, but you're ramping up quicker. So once again, it's never a deck that can drop the Imagine Boo unison very quickly, and then it has free energy open just to use this the defensively Miraculous Transformation. So you basically get given free and extra energy open in your opponent's turn to just play that and make it harder for them to kill you. And even on your turn to play SS4 Vegeta to just play for 6 because you can only got the 6 energy, and then look at the top 4 cards if they're all blue, add them to your hand to just +4 every turn and have a 30k blocker as well, which is very nice. Well, this is a nice one. It is difficult on hand at the beginning because you're bottom decking a card from your hand and then placing a card from your life to your energy and rest. So you're not gaining the life to your hand, you're also losing a card in doing this, but then you're able to, when you awaken, draw and become a 20k on swing and then get free energy back every turn and not worry too much. And all you do is ramp once and you're golden, really. And then the next one we've got is Crimson Goku. I think this is the last one as well. Like, this is one that most people thought the Soul Striker reboot was going to get banned or like hit in some way when this was shown, because it essentially is the it looks like a replacement for the reboot Soul Striker, because of the fact that it's kind of the same. It's got a better alternative well, it definitely has now got a better alternative awakening, but it had a more interesting alternative awakening before, where it's got an effect on the front side where you can just, in a battle, discard a Saiyan card, draw a card, and take a life if you want to. And then the alternative awakening being, you can either awaken at 2 life to draw 3 and untap 1, or place 5 Saiyans, any 5 Saiyans from your drop area under this card to do the same awakening. So you can awaken at high life, or if you get pushed down to 2 life and don't have to Saiyans yet, you can flip over, and it gets a benefit from those cards under the drop. And then every time it attacks, it's just attack, draw a card, untap into blue energy. Well, it's not doing as much as Soul Striker. It does the same on its awaken turn if you awaken in your turn. And yeah, it does seem like a replacement, but it becomes a more aggressive one. I've seen people play this quite aggressive. Seen people play it the old the red-blue way of trying to drop the freeze and just minus your opponent's entire board. But it is probably going to be the better version of Soul Striker now, given that it can awaken it alternatively and kind of do the same thing a lot easier, and plus it has a bit more utility. And I think it's been seen as people have been playing it recently to test it, and some people playing it aggressively, some people playing it defensive, mid-rangey, and it's going to be another good blue leader coming up in the future, well, for the next set at least. Especially now that since it's kind of level now for blue leader, it's more open to try different things. And that is all of them. But we do have blue tech cards, and what I'll keep doing with each of these videos as well is just go over some good blue tech cards, or tech cards for each colour. And this one, like in the last one, we have the token negates. Every colour has a token negate and they're just very strong. And blue does also have some good tech cards as well. Like it's got very good defensive cards like it's Dimension Magic as the sparking negate, which allows you to get extra energy, or just plus on your energy for negating as well. Like it does, there's blue silver bullets for those, but it's very easy to play around those. And blue does have quite interesting tech. Like it doesn't have much in terms of barrier removal, and that's why you have the SS Go tanks here. This unison, very good in the barrier removal in a 4-cost unison. So it gives you a 20k dual attack and unison, so you can bypass the effects of the Mecha Freeze in the game. So you can get 2 20k swings out of it, and you can either choose it to just draw 2 cards by minusing 2, or -3 to bottom deck 2 cards in your own barrier, giving you that barrier removal. And a nice card you have in it is Dirty Burst as well, which is a nice, helpful card for blue. They deal with U7 Goku, so if they drop the Secret Rare or the U7 Goku, they're not able to attack with it because you can use the counter play by paying 2 energy, they draw a card and stop them from attacking with cards that are 7 cost or more. And it also helps with Sin as well, with the other control Sin or Aggro Sin to help you survive that out and last a little bit longer. And it does have a lot of other good blue cards, like you've got the East Kai 1-drop, which makes it so if your opponent tries to play something on your turn, they bottom deck a card, so hinder it, like kind of making it so people are less likely to want to play things in your turn. And you got, like, it always has access to good things like you got Mafuba, Senzu-Bean, and things like that. There's quite a lot of good blue tech cards. Not as wide variety as red, but still has quite a lot of good ones. But that is it from a video today. That's going over blue for set 17. And once again, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next one tomorrow, going over green. Bye for now.